Yes, welcome, 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 welcome. Tune in to another episode of Vocal Soul Box, aka the safe place. Oh, I said this again, safe space. What I mean when I say the safe space, guys, I'm gonna tell you what I mean. This is a space where new ideas are welcome. So just come on with all your new ideas. Diversity of thoughts are highly encouraged. My favorite part of the show is where we have a high tolerance for dissenting views. So, yes, join us as we break down the science of analyzing and evaluating various topics. Our goal and my gift, or our gift to you, is to equip our audience with essential critical thinking tools that will enhance and develop intellectual virtues. So, and that's all I got to say. So I'm gonna have my guests introduce themselves. Again, my name is Enos. Enos, your most humble, observant, obedient servant. Enos is the name. Go ahead, Fresh. Bring us home.
Freshly sniped, man. I'm just here to get my up. Listen, man, this ain't no safe space, man. This is the thunder. Come in here ready to fight. I don't let that man Enos get you roughed up, man. Come in here ready to defend yourself.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Coach Andre.
So for those that don't know, I'm the rhymer realtor for your dream home. We need to buy or sell. I'm a purpose coach for those that feel like they're going through hell. I'm a speaker here to motivate, encourage, and inspire. I'm a poet as well and grab the mic to spit bars of fire. The book that I wrote is Changing Lives as Well. A servant is what I am on a mission to serve, not
Hmm.
sell. When it's all said and done, to help others reach their full potential. By helping them find their purpose to find true joy, it is essential. Coach Andre is my name. Inspiration is who I be. It is true I live to give, and you will notice me.
Okay.
Bars,
Got a professional today. Okay.
bars.
Yes, I'm taking some courses with Coach Andre. Yes, let's go.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Let's go, Hoop.
Hey, what's up? I'm Hoop. I'm a brother to everybody, man. So I'm here to just give my opinion. I guess I'm ready to fight today. So let's get to it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fighting against a lot of things, man. All right, Vulcan. What you got for us?
What's up, everybody? This is Vulcan, aka Logos. We're excited for the show today to go over the final breakdown, part two of the Dame Dash and Willie D interview. So I'm excited. Y'all tune in, ask questions, put your comments in. We're gonna get into it. Let's go.
All right, yeah, fellas. So if y'all have been living underneath a rock, this is one of the most informative, entertaining shows that's on the planet right now. Again, welcome to the Vulcan Soapbox. Today we're going to be covering Dame Dash, one of his latest interviews with Willie D, one of the members of the Ghetto Boys, Houston legend. So let's get into it, guys.
He's a member of the Ghetto Boy.
Definitely. Definitely. Remember the ghetto. Got that. Here we go. So like a hold on a minute, y'all. All right, y'all. Here we go.
And we're not cutting to that. Oh, it's muted, G. We can't hear the video.
Hold on. All right, mute your background. What about now? Yeah, I hear?
Nah, still in it. Not yet.
Who? How you get that background?
I'll make sure to talk about it in my intro next time.
What about now? We still having issues with the audio?
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Yeah.
right, hold on for a minute, y'all.
We can see his lips moving. Can't hear no sound.
He looks like the coworker that be talking on mute the whole time. Charles, you're on mute. Charles.
Charles. Oh, Mario Taylor. Mario, we can't hear the. Can you hear the video? Can you hear Dame talking? We're having technical difficulties. How's everybody's day?
Oh, my day been
I had a
great.
good day, man.
Got Terry Rozier, my boy.
This man right here. Y'all still ain't gonna win no chip.
Yeah, we ain't get 70 dropped on us either yesterday.
Tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough.
Keep it on up.
Right? We got a rookie superstar, man.
Yeah, whatever. Y'all finna have 2 lottery picks in a row. I know that.
He put up. Yeah. That's hey. It was all planned.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. Don't do it like this.
I said what you want. That's a 70 ball.
Hey, Wembanyama got it. He got his licks in.
70 ball.
That's rough.
He hit 2
That's
3-pointers.
I feel like he came in there to.
You hear what I'm saying? He hit 2 3-pointers.
You see, they try to feed Cass.
He hit 2 3-pointers, giving y'all buckets.
Man, that dude weighed 132 pounds.
Hey, ain't got nothing to do with me. We all got a contract here, my boy.
Yeah,
That's 70 of them.
They're gonna put that man on overnight oats.
Nah, he not trying to gain no weight. He already said.
I don't care what.
Yeah, he's not trying to gain no weight. I think they're trying to follow the Kevin Durant model of gaining enough weight to just sustain, but not be able to, trying to bang or whatnot.
Yeah. Hey, Kevin Durant ain't down in the post banging with Joel Embiid.
I don't think it's about the post though, because he's, Wemby's not a post player. I think it's just range of motion and longevity to be able to move. 7-footers don't got a good track record in the early 2000s of just being able to stay functional.
Oh yeah, especially coming in with all that weight.
Yeah, exactly. So, but he was 7'5", 7'3".
Oh yeah,
bro. He could put his knees to his head to his knees when he's touching his toes, bro. That's crazy.
That's what she said.
Yeah, well, if she's 7'5", you need to quit messing with her.
You gotta be 7'5" to be flexible.
Yeah, that's facts. I know about that.
Mario, they might be against us, man. They may not be against us, but I don't know if they for us.
Mario was first, man.
What's going on right now, fellas? The audio messed up?
Yeah.
Man, what you been doing this whole time?
I don't know. I saw his stomach. I saw a water bottle. I saw all type of stuff going on over there.
Oh man.
He trying to hydrate.
A platinum record, or I'm just getting the music.
There we go.
It's a lot of different elements there. So we
Right,
have to learn the
fellas?
fundamentals.
Yeah.
And we can't forget
Thumbs
that
up? All right,
in
all right,
history
let's
we
get back.
were
Rewind
winning.
it. We'll get
And we
back
can't
into
let them. I'm gonna just go be a farmer, man. I lived on the farm.
All right, so everybody good now?
Yeah.
Look, Mario. Oh, let me post before we start. Mario Taylor said his name against us? ? Cat is against us. Okay, that comment's coming in. All right, let's get back into it.
Dave Chappelle got Cat Williams together.
All right, Joy.
I'm here.
Let me know if you want to get in, Mario. We can bring you on.
Yeah.
All right. Are y'all ready, fellas?
Here.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
For 2 months or a month just to observe. That is not an easy thing. You can't just say I'm gonna be a farmer. That's like saying I'm just gonna be a rapper and get a platinum record, or I'm gonna just get in the music business. You gotta. It's a lot of different elements there. So we have to learn the fundamentals, and we can't forget that in history we were winning, and we can't let them erase
Fair
that.
use.
So even down to the way we interpret the name Jesus, that's a European interpretation of the name. His name is Joshua. Why no one calls me Damien, anything but Damon wherever I go in the world? Why would we have to now say somebody's name with a European interpretation of the name and it didn't happen in Europe? That doesn't make sense other than control.
Pause.
How could you tell if somebody tells me they're a fan of?
We addressed this on the last one.
We addressed it on the last one, so I'm not going to
speak on it.
But again, this is one of those things where we're just not being precise with our words. It says it's a European interpretation on the name, but it's not a European interpretation. It's just a transliteration of the name. I mean, interpretation is meaning. So anytime somebody is talking about interpretation, you're extracting the meaning out of a text. That's what interpretation is. Or it ought to be a text. It could be anything. You're taking the meaning out of it. Changing the way that you label something or changing the way that something is labeled, named, that's not a meaning. So it's not an interpretation technically. And the reason why that's important is because if you say interpretation, people tend to take from it, you're talking about a meaning. That's important. If you're changing the meaning of something, that's important. So that's why I want that to be known. Continue.
Also not acknowledging, to reiterate what last time, that where that Bible was translated, when it was translated, it was meant to communicate with the people it was translated for. That's not. I mean, Yeshua is Hebrew. We don't speak Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Romans didn't speak Hebrew back then. They spoke what they spoke. This came from Europe. This translation of the Bible, we're in America. America originated, if you will, in Europe when we defected or went to war for our independence. So yeah, it's translated to be understood by people who speak the King's English.
Great.
And any iteration after that. So it's weird that people keep trying to frame it as if it's some sort of robbing of the culture. Like, no, I mean, if you're in Asia, they're gonna translate it to Asia. To Asia.
Attaboy.
I ain't had nothing to drink tonight. That's not true. Go ahead.
Yeah. Just keep in mind, like I said, that the letter J didn't exist until I forgot what century when the letter J came into existence. So if you know anybody named Jonathan or James, you're not gonna hear people like John. Hey, that's not my name. My name, you shouldn't be calling me Jonathan or James. Like that's not really a good point. But what's up? Y'all got anything, Hoop, Coach Andre, before we move on?
Yeah, I mean, to his point, I mean, the thing about it is the fact that I can name some Asians or some Africans that their name, where they are, is so uncommon here. Not only is it uncommon, but it's also hard for Americans to pronounce on a regular basis that they adopted an Americanized name. So instead of saying Kukuma, he says, man, just call me John. So now his name is John because he's in America.
Mm-hmm.
So to that point, it's the same thing. Is they've taken the name that we don't use in our culture and use a name that's a lot simpler for us to understand and to use on a regular, everyday basis. And in my personal experience, and I'm just speaking for me personally because I am a believer of Christ, is the fact that he answers to it. So I have a niece, and growing up, my niece, when she first learned to talk, she called my mother, which is her grandmother, Nene. Now my niece is now like 11 years old, so she understands. She can say grandma now, but the fact that she still calls her Nene, why? Because my mother still answers it.
Preach.
Even though she can say grandma, she still answers to Nana because she understands. She knows That's what she refers to me as, and she responds accordingly.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good point. Kind of to what Vulcan said is, I think you have to be very careful on what you say. There's a lot of and on this interview specifically, there's a lot of misinformation that can be used by not clearing what you're saying and being correct on what you're saying. And I think that's who Dame is. But based on his logic, if you go to Starbucks in Japan, it should be in English, which is, the menu should be written in English. And I just think you got to be just more careful with your words. He's smart enough to know better than, in my opinion, than to how he puts things out there like that.
To that point, is he doing it on purpose?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I mean, if there were other things that like there's no tact in a lot of the things that he says. He definitely challenges status quo for sure, but
Correct him at this point, or let him know about this at this point.
Say again.
I said he's been talking like this for a long time about some of the same topics. You don't think anybody's corrected him about this?
I'm sure people have tried, but
he is Dame.
He's
he's Dame Dash. You can't tell Dame nothing.
Yeah, I do think that, and I don't want to go too far off of this, so I'll keep it short. But I do think that there are certain people that they've tapped into a different part of their brain from cerebral thinking that other people haven't. So when you hear what they're saying, you be like, man, this dude is crazy, but it's really like they're just on a different wavelength than other people. I think Dame might flirt with that here and there on certain things that he says. But
that's true, but that doesn't make him right on some things as well.
100%, 100%. And I'm not saying right or wrong. I just think that there's a different wavelength of thought process that he's on. I think Kanye West is kind of on that same thing, that same kind of wavelength in terms of just being different in what he says and thinks.
Got it.
Okay.
Does that,
All right,
go ahead.
Yeah, self-pressure. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say, being on a different wavelength, I don't know if that eschews the need to use logic and reason. Like I understand if you say things and you mean a certain thing, but some of this stuff just doesn't make sense no matter how you interpret it.
100%, and that's the same thing, right? Like with Kanye, he says a bunch of things. He's almost divisive, like a politician, right? Either you love him or you hate him. It's hard to be in the middle. But he says things that are sometimes, and you sit back and think, you like, yeah, and another thing you'd be like, bro, you tripping? Like that's just wrong. You know what I'm saying? I think it's the same kind of deal there too.
Definitely. That's the beauty of the show, and that's what our agenda is. You got a lot of people that, especially the people that's famous or celebrities or people that's in higher ranks or in a position of power. Some of these guys are really smart. Actually, some of them are brilliant. You can argue that. But what the purpose of this show is, we're just trying to evaluate and see are they making good arguments. Like Hoops just said, Kanye West does say some good things, but his arguments sometimes don't be the best. So that's what we're doing right now with Dame Dash to see is he really making logical arguments. All right,
so when it comes to being a genius, I think you could be a genius in a particular field. That doesn't make you a genius on every topic.
Very good point.
I'm with that. Good stuff.
I'm not arguing with Dame Dash when it comes to like, producing or identifying talent.
Exactly.
Just say anything, and I take his genius or his success in the musical arena. Just be like, he must know what he's talking about. That don't work. Which
it don't apply. It don't apply.
What you're supposed to do, like this. That's I'll explain it later, but there's a logical fallacy that basically says, "Oh, it's an appeal to authority."
Oh, we're gonna get into that. Let's get back to it. We got that.
Yeah.
Got that in the cut.
Mine, and they calling me Damien. I'm gonna be like, my name's Damien. How could you really be a fan of mine? You're not calling me by my real name. So how could you get a full blessing? You're calling this man by his wrong name, because we've been programmed to.
His name.
You understand what I'm saying? Again, when it was a time when white people or the other culture were slaves, and the Moors did them dirty. But did they ever teach you about a Moor in school? No more Moors. You don't even, because they don't want to see that visual of us winning, because that's what you do when you take over a culture. You take their religion, you erase their heroes, their artifacts, and anything they ever did strong, and you make them think that they've never been strong and they've always been weak and they've always needed you. And that's how they did this to us. Look how strong we are. Why are we listening to them?
Well, that's the only way it would work. They'd have to discredit us in order to to justify the mistreatment.
And they make us discredit ourselves.
They have to do that. Yeah, right. And they're so good at it that they've actually convinced a lot of us to actually aid them in destroying our image.
Leo Cohen. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I look at those people that are exploiting our dysfunction and making money for it for a living their whole life. When I see a man that's not from our culture never make money off his own culture and only ours, why you only want to get money on my block? Go get money on your own block. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to trust somebody from someplace else to do and take care of my hood. They don't care about my hood. They're not from here. They're just making money from it. And we continuously think that somebody that's from another culture is the plug for our music, for everything that we do. We got to go to them to get back to us. That's the program I watch them push. So I'm like, I'm just not a Johnny like that. I'd rather fight. I'd rather fight all night. You know what I'm saying? Then go home and be like, yo, this sucker just told me what to do. And I got to internalize that. My girl just saw that. My kid just saw that when he come through. You know how many people I see that talk tough in the street and then they get in front of certain people and they get this stupid ass voice like they're a weatherman. And I'm like, why are you talking like that when this man walk in the room? You don't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you changing yourself? They should change when they talk to us. So a lot of what I do is watch your mouth with a Leor and certain people. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. Tread lightly here because you have to have a certain amount of respect. You controls nothing here. It's our culture. You ain't gonna tell me what to do, pause, or who to do it with. Your enemies ain't my enemies, like Mandela said. I ain't got to be mad at everybody you mad at, but you don't got to be mad at everybody I'm mad at. And another thing, why again, we're programmed to only make products for us. So every single black person that has a business makes it for black people. That's not enough people and too many people trying to hustle on the same block. We got to be able to make products for everybody. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And that's the issue. We are programmed to think we can only do things for us. We can only lead us, and everything we do and that we make could be for us. Pause. That's why it's called America New. The new America is for everybody.
Hey, is he contradicting himself? Because he's saying,
I just thought so too. Talking about our community and then kind of reverting it back.
Yeah, he's saying like, I don't want anybody from outside of our culture to benefit from our culture, but then on the flip side, saying we should make products for everybody.
Correct. Yeah.
We can only lead us. I'm like, oh, I don't. It's a double standard, which is a reality in the society that we live in. But I don't think you should be able to make a case based on a double standard. He's just talking now. He's not stringing together any of his thoughts. He's just bouncing back and forth through what seems like random things he's thinking up at this point.
Yeah, he's definitely emotionally driven. This is part of the interview I kind of took with a grain of salt.
Yeah,
because I'm like, it doesn't really make sense to me, man. You gotta come with something a little bit more concrete, or don't talk in absolutes where it's going to contradict yourself at a later point.
Yeah, I think that I wish some of these interviewers would challenge him on that. At least ask for like a clarification. Like,
yeah,
do you just said this and then you just said that? At least allow him to work his way out of it.
But again, I think this goes back to like when you're of that stature and you're going to whatever road show or tours, whatever you're going on, you know exactly who you're not going to go on, because if they do challenge you, you're not with it, right? You're trying to go viral at this point, and it seems like he's fallen into that bucket. Don't get me wrong, like I think he's still emotionally driven from whatever place he's coming from, which is a good thing, but because it's raw. But I definitely think that he would not be the person to go on somebody's show that's going to challenge him, and a lot of these other people wouldn't be.
He's gonna go to the places that are gonna let him get it off.
That are gonna let him get it off, exactly.
Definitely. Hello?
Hey.
Okay, yeah. Just wanted to let new guest Mario Taylor. Welcome to the platform, brother.
How y'all doing? I like what you guys doing tonight. I'm glad you guys called. I'm gonna touch on a few things, then I'm gonna let you guys go. But I'm glad you touched on the contradiction what Dame just did, because I noticed that too. I don't know how old you guys are, but I'm 51 years old. Give you a little background with me. In my early days, I was in the music industry. Speed it up. I became a promoter in the area. So I've been around the entertainment business for a minute. So this may be off the script, but on the script, you guys are talking on a little bit more intelligent level, and where I'm going, I'm a little bit more street, a little bit more edge. But what I will say is, when you look at people like Dame Dash, Kanye West, Cat Williams, etc., they're creating a lot of false narratives. They're taking truth with their own opinion, with narrative that fits today's society. And I say that to say, one, there's no such thing as an industry plan. There's no such thing with that. One, you got to understand the entertainment business is only about 20 to 30% talent. The rest is business. That's why it's called the entertainment business.
Okay.
And if you can't do good business,
Bet
you're
you-
not going to make it to that level. But for some reason, we have come to a place that once we reach that level, we find every reason to find fault how they got there. Every reason, or because they put on a dress, or because they was a plant, or because they became a yes man, as if we're not smart enough to do good business to get there. I'm not a big Kevin Hart fan or Steve Harvey fan when it relates to the talent side of it. But to suggest that these guys don't work hard, it's almost like a slap in our face. Because right in front of us, we're watching these guys work. Excuse my language. Watch their ass. They're working their ass off. And when you work hard, it pays off. So when we watch these false narratives, when you look at what social media is and how you look at what tends to go viral, for an example, let's take this show compared to other shows. These kind of shows sometimes start off a little slow, so people to gravitate to it. But I could guarantee you, if you were talking some buffoonery or downing someone in the Black community, it takes off like a jet.
We love drama.
And trauma.
But to what degree? You see what
Drama
I'm
and trauma
saying?
makes money.
Drama is a part of us, but is that all to us?
No.
But this is what we display. If you look at the top 10 shows of Black shows, I guarantee you it's an element of some form of drama or
trauma.
And I really hate to
drama and trauma
in particular.
Right.
I hate when Black folk will blame the industry for that. When the industry is a consumer, it's a consumership.
Absolutely.
Consumer relationship. They're not going to put out things that are not being consumed at a high level.
Absolutely.
So, man, they just they push in the drama. It's like, well, that's what y'all are consuming. That's what we consume.
Absolutely.
Good stuff. Mario's touching on a lot of good ideas. The hoop, Coach Andre Vulcan. Y'all got any comments on what Marley Taylor is saying?
Yeah. Based on your intro, Mario, I'm gonna call you Unc. So thank
There you go.
But no, I think is kind of what I mentioned before. I think it's important to know when you're on certain stages, the volatility that you have when you speak. I think these people, celebs and leaders and stuff, they have a duty to put out content and make money for their own families. I get that, but they cause a lot of harm on these false narratives that you spoke of. And then to the Kevin Hart and the Steve Harvey kind of shaming that's been going on. I'm curious on when people will start talking about the wit that these guys have to understand how to market themselves for the consumer, because I don't think that's talked about enough from a strategic standpoint. And maybe it's just a ton of people who don't care about business or not, but that's kind of the I don't really care about the other stuff, honestly. But I'm curious on when that'll be a conversation for the masses.
Definitely. What about you, Coach Andre? Got anything?
In reference to what Unc was just
Yeah,
saying,
it's stuck.
what I'll say is both can be true. And what I mean by that is their levels of success can be attributed to both their hard work and them deciding to make certain decisions that may go against their core values because it's an alignment with those that run the industry. I'll put it that way. So you can actually it can be both.
So
Well, let me play devil's advocate on that real quick. And I agree with what you just said. But when you sign up, and no one's saying that you have to put on a dress. Let me start with that. No one's saying that you should have to put on a dress. My thing is, why do you criticize the ones that do decide to do if that works for them? You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
So are you agreeing with Andre that it could be both by putting on the dress? Can you
It
elaborate
can
on
be
your answer?
both, but I feel like if it works for this person, because personally, me, I look at a dress as a costume, no different than let me play devil's advocate on that. Chad is the same guy who says there's a problem with putting on a dress, but it's okay to put on the wear a perm. Contradiction.
Right. We as a society have made that okay because we associate society with pimps, which for whatever reason we as a society have deemed cool. Whereas if you put on a dress, another costume, our society is historically homophobic. We're moving in the other direction now, but we've deemed homosexuality or cross dressing or whatever you want to call it as not cool.
Isn't it personal choice?
We as a community, we kind of set a weird standard or double standard.
Which is the reason why we were saying pause all evening.
Oh yeah.
So I believe in freedom of choice. Just something, because I don't rock with something, don't mean I can't tell somebody else that they shouldn't.
Right. Or
That's my thing. You can't say I'm fighting for rights, but gays shouldn't have rights.
Okay.
That's contradicting.
All right. You get
what I'm saying? Personally, me, I don't. If you're not sleeping with me, I care less who someone chose to sleep with.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like people should have the right of freedom of choice.
Definitely.
That's all I'm saying.
Before
That's
you
good.
get,
Go ahead, close it out so we get back in the video, and then we're going to touch back on this topic later on. As far as I like what Coach Andre said, it could be both. I want to really delve into that. But go ahead, Fresh, and we can get back to the video. Unless Vocal, you got something to say after Fresh. All right, go ahead, Fresh.
A lot of these guys, right? Cat Williams, like Dame, they're attacking the successful examples that we have in the community for succeeding. I've not once heard any of them address the content of the music, the visuals that are pushed by the music. Like none of that. Like they don't see anything wrong with that. It's very hard for me to look at those types of people and deem them for the culture, right? I'm not saying they're against the culture, but it's hard for me to say, okay, you're looking at successful examples of black men who have certain amounts of power in Hollywood. However, you feel like they got it. I don't hear you taking shots at anybody for the content of their music, right? How they like. I don't hear him saying. I didn't hear Cat Williams say nothing about like a Young Thug type of dude. Why not? Right? It's just things like that where I'm like, okay, you're being very selective about your criticism, and it feels a little targeted. And I suspect that it's less because they are wanting to tell the truth and free the culture, and more because they have personal odds with these individuals.
Definitely. All right, let's get back into it, guys.
but it's us
Fair
that
use,
are the
fair
landlords.
use.
That's the difference.
Yeah, you're definitely changing the narrative, man. You're definitely doing your part to change the narrative.
I'm trying
But sometimes you have to feel overwhelmed, though.
all the time, but it's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's not an overwhelming thing. It's just too much to do.
But you perform well under pressure. It's like you welcome pressure. And I like what you said a while back when you was talking about how you expect things to be difficult. You expect things to be bad. A lot of people wake up every day and they think the world is just going to be, the world is just going to welcome them with open arms and it's going to be polite to them and everything is going to go great.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. But I operate similar to the way you do. I expect bad things to happen. I expect life to be difficult on a daily basis. And when it does, I don't panic because I expected that. I expected it. A lot of people, when they don't expect that and something happened, they panic.
I know.
And they lose control and they become desperate and things like that. So by expecting these things to happen, by expecting, something to not always be easy, I'm able to actually deal with a lot of these things easily. I see Steve Rogers here. He owns a club, multiple restaurants and venues in the city. And every day he's putting out fires. He knows that being in the business, as long as he's been in the business,
That's what the boss does.
he knows that he's going to have to put out fires and he wouldn't be able to do and be able to operate at his optimum if he didn't understand